What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm going to bring you another game from the defense. This time it's going to be Team Empire versus Navi. Nadistinchir, something like that. I actually don't know how to pronounce that, but Navi, of course, the winners of the first International, and Empire. They don't have something absolutely huge like that under their belts because no one else does, except for Navi, but Empire, a very strong team as well. And right off the bat, we have a lot of pushers, a lot of heavy people getting banned out. Chen and Enchantress, those jungle pushers, and of course Lycan, who very rarely played because he's always banned. And something that I haven't really been doing recently, or like ever really, is when I'm watching Dota games, I kind of skip over the draft because, you know, I just watch it for entertainment, so I'm not really interested in seeing what these guys are actually doing to get to where they are. But really, I feel like I'm missing out there. I feel like I should have been doing that now, of course, because there's so much stuff going on. I feel like the first 3 bans and the first like 2 or 3 picks, that's kind of cookie cutter. It's fairly interchangeable. Like right now, if Invoker doesn't get banned, he's gonna be picked up first. Like that's just what's gonna happen. But right after that, right after the 3rd pick, those next 2 bans and then those 2 follow-up picks, those are definitely extremely interesting. So if any of you are skipping over the entire draft, you know, I completely understand, but just consider pushing that little timer thing back a little bit and watch the last 2 bans and watch the last 2 picks as well, because I feel like that's where most of the good stuff is. That's where the team prediction comes out. Like the first 3 picks, usually fairly generic. You're gonna have like your Invokers, you're gonna have your Nature's Prophets, your Broodmothers, and those don't really fit into any dedicated lineup. But once you have those last 2, then that really seals up your strategy. As we see some more pretty standard bans going out, so kind of what I was saying before, Nature's Prophet and Darkseer, along with Enchantress and Chen. Very common material, and here we go. First pick from Navi is going to be Enigma. So, as I was saying before, Enigma is so versatile. You could play him in a pushing lineup, you could play him in a like supporting to a late game hero lineup, but knowing Navi, it's probably going to be something more aggressive a little bit earlier. The response from Empire, look, because Invoker wasn't picked up or wasn't eliminated in the first round of banning, he actually got picked first along with the Tidehunter. Tidehunter usually see a little bit later, but he's also a very valuable hero, very tanky, very does a surprising amount of damage considering he's usually built more on the support side. Anchor Smash does a lot of damage actually, and Navi's 2 pickups, Venomancer and Lone Druid, so far this is telling me that they want to push hard and they want to push fast. You have the Plague Wards to deal damage, you got conversions, and of course the Bear with that Demolish skill just does so much damage. Broodmother is picked up by Empire. Broodmother, of course, is going to be able to hold a lane by herself, but she doesn't have the really amount of counter push that they might need, Team Empire might need, if Navi decides to really go all out on this. Navi actually banning out Bane Elemental. I don't know. I suppose Empire has had a history with Bane Elemental, but really, I don't think Bane was the most crucial to eliminate. I feel like even CM would be more useful to Empire than Bane Elemental because of the pushing that's going to be coming down. But who am I to second guess Puppy? Puppy knows so much more than I do. So far it's looking to be like a pretty heavy push lineup coming from Navi. We'll see if they finish their lineup with a Leshrac or something like that, or maybe a Sand King just to hard counter the Broodmother. Sand King also is decent in the push lineup. If you get that Blink Dagger, you have a lot of initiation, try to catch someone off guard, and that makes your pushing a lot easier. And he's actually getting eliminated from this pool, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see Leshrac getting eliminated as well. I'm actually really interested to see what Navi is going to ban out for the final one, because Team Empire really hasn't shown their hand quite yet. Their heroes are fairly versatile and also fairly generic, and they're going to ban out another aggressive support hero. Bane Elemental and VS, so Puppy seems to know what's going on. They just want those support heroes because Invoker obviously isn't going to be buying the ward, neither is Broodmother. There goes Morphling from Empire. I think that's, if anything, that is forcing Navi's hand into a push lineup, since they're not going to have that alternate kind of double carry idea. And there's Tinker, so March of the Machines is going to be able to clear out creep waves extremely fast. Plus he could hold his zone in the lane, get a lot of damage going on very early in the game. So yeah, as I was saying before, Empire getting their VS and Bane kind of eliminated from them. I would not be surprised to see a Shadow Demon being picked up. Shadow Demon is pretty similar to VS and Bane in the sense that yes, he is a support hero. Yes, he's not going to have any items, or like not many items. Assuming he is just doing his job and racking up assists for whoever Empire decides is going to get the kills. But he's also a very good initiator. You get Disruption into Soul Catcher, and whoever you do that to, especially since Navi is kind of soft, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And he also scales pretty well into the late game with that Soul Catcher, and of course the Disruption Illusions. You can't count them out. Even though Navi's heroes kind of low damage as far as right click goes, they're more spell oriented. They still do quite a bit of damage, so I would not be surprised to see something like that coming out from Empire, but they're taking their time, going to be deciding what they're going to do. Navi, with that Tinker, they're going for a very early game strategy. There's going to be a lot of early game power coming out from that Venomancer, coming out from Lone Druid's Bear, who's just such a pain in the ass. Leshrac is actually going to be picked up by Empire, so Empire actually not having the worst push lineup themselves. They have the Edict, they have the Spiders. Beastmaster is actually the last pick from Navi. So they're going to have a lot of control of the map. If Beastmaster picks up Boosted Travels as well, then Empire's really going to have to watch out, because they're going to be in a lot of danger no matter where they are. And there's the Shadow Demon that I called out before, getting that final support. And of course, Shadow Demon Leshrac, such a deadly dual lane if they decide to lane it like that. Most likely it's going to be, well, they might do a Leshrac Shadow Demon mid. That's not completely out of the question, but I'm expecting Brood to solo. It could actually go either way. Empire has a lot of flexibility with the lanes. Navi, on the other hand, well, they also have a lot of flexibility in their lanes. Most likely Enigma is going to be jungling. But we're going to have to see. Let's go through the heroes right now. On the Navi side, we have Puppy playing the Beastmaster, Light of Heaven on the Lone Druid, stand-in Ravwar, I guess I'm just going to be calling him Rav, on the Enigma, another stand-in NS, going to be playing that Venomancer, and Dendi on the Tinker. On the Empire side, the currently gone J4 is going to be playing the Tidehunter, the also currently gone Scandal is going to be playing the Invoker, Blow Your Brain is going to be the Broodmother, Always Want to Fly on that Shadow Demon, and where the hell did Leshrac go? Leshrac's completely disappeared from the face of the map. Leshrac is going to be played by Jackal. So both teams have quite a bit of early power. There's no one really on the Empire team who could dominate the late game. Of course, Broodmother, given the right circumstances, could do a surprising amount of damage. But she always has that weakness of being a melee hero, so she's going to be able to be kited quite a bit, especially considering that even if she does have a BKB, there's going to be a roar, there's going to be a black hole. And then when her BKB runs out, she's going to get lasered, and then a Broodmother who can't hit anything is not very useful at all. And then, of course, I'm betting on some force stats from Navi just because it's such a stable item. But Navi, their late game is mostly in the Lone Druid. Of course, Tinker is also very powerful late game, not in a I'm going to right-click you to death sense. But I'm going to push all your lanes at the same time and prevent you from pushing in and taking a racks kind of sense. So Tinker kind of filling a different niche, but Light of Heaven, technically a hard carry Lone Druid, although most teams don't really orient themselves in such a way. They mostly use that Lone Druid as early mid-game power, because you have a lot of health coming out from the Spirit Bear, you have a lot of health coming out from the Lone Druid, especially once he gets his true form. Once you rush out that Radiance, then really that's when Lone Druid is the most powerful hero on the map. And then he kind of falls off a little bit later on because everyone is able to kite him. But then, like, super late game, 120-minute late game, when he has 12 item slots, then once again he is the most fearsome thing on the map. Maybe even in the entire game, because you have 6 more item slots than everyone else. Beastmaster clearing off the trees in the bot lane, trying to give himself a little bit more of a secure lane. Empire is going to see that, and I don't think they're going to change their lanes accordingly. There's nothing really to do about that. It's kind of expected from a Beastmaster. Blair Brain actually doing the same exact thing with his webs, putting them a little bit farther up, destroying some of these trees right here. Usually don't see that. Usually just see them put the web around here and just take out the same patch of trees that Beastmaster did. A little bit of warding going on from NS. Do they have sentry wards on the Empire team? They don't. Do they? They don't.
Battle begins.
Well, the bigger question is, do they have sentry wards on Na'Vi's side of the map? They actually do. So Venomancer is probably going to be heading up towards the top lane, putting down a sentry ward, making sure that Blow Your Brain doesn't get anything out of that lane. Shadow Demon has picked up a haste rune and does have a disruption, and he might be dual laning with Jackal, or he might just transition up to give Brood a little bit of backup, since Brood is going to be under a lot of heat. New on the bot lane, we're going to have J4 as the Tidehunter and Scandal Invoker up against a solo Puppey. So Puppey is going to have to be very cautious in this lane. Of course, being a melee hero against a ranged hero already puts him at an disadvantage, but once you get that additional giant fish to fight you, then it's going to be even worse. So see Blow Your Brain actually getting galed up already, taking a lot of damage from everyone on the Na'Vi side. Is he going to get away? Yes, he is barely going to get away. He's probably going to salve up and be just fine.
No.
Puppey, if J4 is not constantly on him, he's going to be pulling like this. So either way, he's not going to have the most fun in the lane. See nice, easy Ogre Maulers going out. So Puppey might have to be forced to pick up a Soul Ring, start pulling these Ancients. Unfortunately for Empire, Broodmother having a tough time, does not have that same option. And Rav is going to be in the jungle, so Na'Vi is going to get that much more gold coming in to their entire team. Of course, J4 is pulling, but that is going to be denying Puppey quite a bit. So I'm going to be expecting a Soul Ring and Ancient stack pulling technique from Puppey, just to get a little bit more from the lane, since right now, well, I mean, he's not that far behind because J4 has been pulling and not pressuring, but he's going to be, yeah, he's not in the best position right now. He just has to play his cards right, and he'll be fine. Dendi in the mid lane, Tinker not having a fun time at all. He only has one creep kill, and if he walks up, he gets disrupted, he gets split earth. He's going to take a level 1 edict, but with a soul catcher, that level 1 edict is going to mean a lot. Always want to fly, picking up haste rune, looking for Dendi. Dendi actually saw him do that entire thing, so Dendi's not going to fall for that. He's just going to hug his tower, and he's going to be okay. Blair Brain is having just as much fun as Dendi is in the mid lane. He's trying to pressure a little bit, but he's going to take a gale in the face, and there goes the bear, and he's taking a lot of damage from everyone, although Venomancer is also, here comes Rav, and he's looking for a kill. Blair Brain is going to go down to Enigma for the first blood, so Na'Vi taking first blood on a Brood who going a little bit over aggressive on a Venomancer. Not quite enough damage, as we see Dendi getting disrupted. Not quite going to get hit by that split earth. Sunstrike did hit, however, so Dendi is going to be forced to use a couple of his tangos. If that split earth hit, Dendi would have been toast. So Tinker, very lucky to be alive, and always want to fly, actually, kind of going ahead of Jackal. Jackal wasn't really expecting it. Dendi is going for a kind of odd skill build. He's Seeking Missile into 2 March of the Machines. If you have 2 heroes in your lane, you kind of, well, I guess it's just for counter push, but March of the Machines is an investment build for Tinker, and what I mean by that is if you're kind of counting on getting your Boots of Travels extremely quickly and putting that March of the Machines to good use, and if you're shut down completely, then you're not going to have your Boots of Travel, and you're going to wish you have Laser, because, I mean, like, March of the Machines is great, you can clear off a creep wave with it, but then you run out of mana, and then what? So Dendi, confident in his ability to get the farm, get his Boots of Travel, is going to be going for a March of the Machines Heat-Seeking Missile build. Not the aggressive, I'm going to kill you build of Laser Heat-Seeking Missile, which isn't very rare these days. A lot of players are extremely confident in their ability to get the gold, and Blow Your Brain is going to take a lot more right-click damage. He's trying to head towards his web. Do they have any more detection? Yes, they do. Sentry Ward drop down. Blow Your Brain is going to die. In the meantime, Puppey being picked down by the Invoker. Looks like that was just a cold snap into right clicks. Might have been a Sunstrike as well to open But Invoker, pretty sure taking a solo kill. Yeah, that was a complete solo kill by Jackal, so good play by him onto Puppey. And Invoker is taking a 2-level lead, so Scandal actually playing very aggressively, just trying to get the Hawk. He only has 1 point in Quas, but he also does have a healing salve, so he's not going to die anytime soon. Dendy in the mid lane, getting a lot of heat from that dual lane in the mid, such a deadly lane. And Blow Your Brain is not getting much at all. Let's see how Light of Heaven's farming. Light of Heaven has picked up phase boots, so going for a little more early game power, not going to go naked boots into a relic, which he definitely could have done in my opinion, but instead going for a little more aggressive onto that Broodmother, since obviously they have the potential to kill Broodmother since they already have. They might as well just go for it and just try to bring Broodmother down, or even try to take this tower down. It looks like with those Venomous Wards, with the Greater Eidolons, level 3 Eidolons, they're going to be able to take this tower down. Let's see if Brood's going to pop out. That'll be extremely gutsy of him to do so, but he's actually not going to even try, which is the right thing to do. Light Heaven is going to take the tower on the top lane. Let's see what's going on here. Scandal picked up a Void Stone, actually. Something you don't really see it as an opening item for Tinker. You do see Void Stones a lot going into the Cyclone Stick, Buell's Scepter. It's usually not the first item. Usually you see something like Drums or Phase Boots going out first, or a Force Staff. It's a lot more common than a Buell's Scepter. But it's still a great item. There's no reason not to get it. You see the top lane being pushed very aggressively by the Navi side, and Blow Your Brain as the Broodmother has absolutely no counter push, and Always Wanna Fly can be coming in for a disruption and a Soul Catcher. Is actually going to catch Light of Heaven, so a good place Soul Catcher, but it's going to do not much at all as the tower is going to be going down. Ooh, actually Shadow Demon denying a tower, so great play by the Shadow Demon there, denying a lot of gold to the Navi side, but they got the tower. I think they're going to be, of course they're not happy about that, but they're going to be okay with it. Bot lane, Puppey working towards his Soul Ring and actually stacking up a ton of dragons. Look at all those wings. That's crazy shit going on right there. He's going to be pulling with this boar, and he's going to be getting his Soul Ring. As I said, that combination of Tidehunter and the wings and Invoker, who by himself could pretty much shut down a Beastmaster entirely. Doing a lot of work onto Pink in the bottom lane. He's actually just now got his Soul Ring. Again, he has to be careful. One Cold Snap into a Gush into an everything else. Beastmaster could be very dead, especially considering Empire's Wanna Fly and Jackal are looking to do something. There's no ward here. Are they suspecting Roshan? Or are they expecting a pull? NS is actually going to find them. Disruption almost going down. His hands were raised, but he did not lower them. You gotta lower your hands if you're going to cast a spell. Always remember that, kids. If you're casting spells, be sure to lower your hands. See missiles going off from Dendy. That's telling Empire that they are spotted out, so they're going to have to either fall back or make something happen. They're actually going to choose to fall back. No sense pushing when you don't have to, especially going up on that high ground, which is extremely dangerous since they don't have any vision. Light of Heaven continuing to farm against the Broodmother, who has had a lot of pressure relieved. She has a lot more room now to get CS and get harassment on that Lone Druid, although Lone Druid is already pretty substantially ahead as far as money goes, and Lone Druid actually picking up a Ring of Regen, so we might be seeing a Vlad's. See a Sunstrike going, Sunstrike on to Rav. Is that a Sunstrike? Or was that always there? I'm going Crazy, perhaps? I think my money's on Crazy, but Sunstrike going around somewhere and missing, I'm guessing. This seems very zoomed in. There we go. That was interesting. Puppey has picked up the Soul Ring, and the dragons are all very healthy, so he hasn't really started quite yet. Light of Heaven is going toe-to-toe with the Broodmother. However, we have NS and Rav coming in for a kill. Broodmother is very far away. She drops another web, so she's not going to be able to use that as escape. Stuns goes off onto Blow Your Brain, not even needing to use a what is it called? Gale. Not even needing to use a Gale because they had a Gem of True Sight. Right clicks and that initial Malphite stun was more than enough to take down that Broodmother, who's not having a fun time top lane. Whenever she gets a little bit confident, she just gets destroyed. It's like Dendy and Puppey are going to be doing some teamwork to clear out these Ancients. Let's It's going to be a lot of experience for both of them, a lot of gold as well. And they really need it considering they got shut down pretty hard in their respective lanes. So this is kind of allowing them to get back just by the nature of their heroes alone. So even though they might not have had the strongest lanes, they're going to be getting something out of the early game. Wanna-Fly and Jackal putting a little bit of pressure onto this mid lane. Of course, the anti-push coming out from Morphling's level 4 now Eidolons, and Venomancer's only level 3 Eidolons, but Venomancer has picked up a gem. Just want to throw that out there. And Leshrac going for Arcane Boots, so we're probably going to see a Bloodstone transition coming up sometime. Of course, whenever he could get that money, he's probably going to get it. I don't know why you would hold money. Puppey and Dendi have cleared out those ancient camps, and they have gained a level each. Quite a bit of gold as well. Dendi Tinker is only 500 away from his Boots of Travels. Is NS doing something smiley? Probably just playing board games with Jackal, but always Wanna-Fly going around. There goes a Shadow Poison Scout. Not going to be able to find him. So Brown is going to be okay. In the meantime, Brain forced to pure jungle. And when your Brood is forced to pure jungle like this, then it's really not a good option. Like, you see Broods jungling once the tier 1 and tier 2 towers are down, but at this point, Brood is just so frightened because Broodmother knows that there is a gem on the other team, and a gem is just so devastating. And what is going on here? I think they're just feeding them gold. Yeah, that's just playing with Wanna-Fly, feeding him venomous wards. I mean, like, it's not something you really want to do. As Puppey taking a lot of damage from the Empire team. Is he going to get taken out by the right click? No, he survives with 10 HP. Jackal is still on the run. He does have Wex and that Scepter of Divinity, so he might be able to get it. No, he's actually just going to teleport out. Are there going to be axes in retaliation? No. Scandal gets out with his life, but also fails to take that kill onto Puppey. Now I see why he got that Yule Scepter. Yule Scepter into Sunstrike is pretty much a guaranteed hit unless you completely mess up. But Tidehunter did hold on to his Ravage for that. If he popped the Ravage, they would have gotten a kill, but would it have been worth it? There's no real way to tell. So you now see Brain trying to ward off the Venomancer. Once again, Venomancer does have that gem, so Brain does not want to tempt fate that much. He's actually going to run straight into Rav, and Rav does have a level 4 stun. Broodmother might be in a little bit of trouble. Tidehunter actually taking down Puppey in the meantime. Rav not quite seeing that Broodmother. Broodmother just going to book it out of there. Brown is not close enough. Broodmother is kind of thinking about going. She's sticking her Spiderlings on him, but a stun goes on to Brain, and misses coming out from the Tinker. Gale as well. Brain is going to go down. It's just a question of who's going to get him. Enigma is actually going to pick up the last right click. A Sunstrike going off is going to hit Rav directly on his head, and it's going to bring him down. So good play by the Invoker, and once again Broodmother now 0-4-1, having some trouble on that top lane. I feel like someone's gonna have to help Broodmother out, but the other lanes are going swimmingly, so I guess they're okay with that. As you see Puppey getting disrupted, and oh my god, the Meteor's gonna land right on him. So much damage coming out from these spells. That was brutal to watch. Leshrac in the meantime taking the mid tower, and Dendi is trying to defend this bot tower, which he is going to do. Light of Heaven, 600 away from his, what's it called? Relic. So he's going to be going for Radiance, standard Syllabear stuff. Yeah, so pretty brutal gank on Puppey, who's also not doing as well. So Puppey, Broodmother, kind of a wash. However, Broodmother has a lot more capabilities to come back into the game, because she has a lot better late game than Beastmaster in many regards. She could single-handedly take out people, where Beastmaster tends to have a little more trouble doing that. Dendi now in the bot lane has picked up his Boots of Travel. That giant ancient stack put him a long way towards that. And now he's just going to be doing the classic Tinker thing, just teleporting all over, using that level 4 March of the Machines to push everything, pushing all the lanes. Brain trying to get something out of the top lane, but Light of Heaven, no, not pulling, just killing the creeps, so we denying that. As you see a Meteor Deafening Blast going on to Rapor. He's forced to pop off the Black Hole, and Eidolon's doing a little bit of damage to Scandal. Scandal's going to get taken down, as Shadow Demon, used with that Demonic Purge, is going to pop Enigma, so Enigma popping his Black Hole to get a kill, but in the end, trading his own life for it. Of course, that means the black hole is going to be down for a whopping 3 minutes, so Na'Vi probably not interested in having a giant team rumble, but either way, I don't think they were looking for that. As you now see Leshrac smoked up with the haste rune, so Light of Heaven, he has picked up his relic, so even if they get this kill, it's not going to mean that much. Spiderling is now going to tank the tower. Blurbrain's going to lead the charge as we see a disruption going on to Light of Heaven, and stun goes off as well. Edict getting spread amongst lots of people, so Light of Heaven not taking the most damage, but he's going to get taken down regardless. Shadow Demon with that Shadow Poison or a right click, I'm not sure, taking down the Lone Druid, but Lone Druid already had that relic, so he doesn't care that much. J4 trying to do something on the bot lane, but he's taking a lot of damage. March of the Machines, those little machines doing a ton of damage to that Tidehunter as he just gets roared up, and immediately he's regretting his decision to teleport to the bottom tower. The rest of Empire kind of on the mid lane, kind of just posturing on the top lane, just trying to put some pressure on the top lane tower. They have picked up the tier 1 on the top lane, and now we see Dendi. Oh, maybe they were waiting for a Dendi teleport? Are they going to go in on this? Seems like they're just waiting for something. No, always want to fly. Wants that disruption. He wants to go in, but Dendi's going to be teleporting out shortly. He should. If he doesn't, he might die. Nothing going on in the Dire jungle. Radiant jungle, I'm sorry. Dundee going to be teleporting to the top lane, and now NS is in danger. He gets purged, and he's going to get slowed down. There's the disruption and the soul catcher. He's going to take a lot of damage as the Sunstrike comes down. Oh my god, that Sunstrike does a lot of damage. Gem was on the ground, but Lone Druid managed to pick it up. Lone Druid probably going to be able to hold on to that gem relatively easily. He's quite bulky, and that was a lot of freaking damage. 350 damage Sunstrike plus, what, 50 damage? 50%? From that soul catcher, pure damage, that is going to mess anyone up on the map. That is a vicious combo coming out from Team Empire. As you now see Tidehunter wanting to get his Ravage off. Is he going to do it this time? The robots are going to try to slow him down. There goes the Ravage, taking out Rav and Puppy. They're both taking a lot of damage. Edict and Pulse Nova going off from Jackal. He's going to be able to take down the Puppy, and he's going on to Ravwar. Ravwar is going to get hit by a Sunstrike. Bam! Invoker picking up another kill. Invoker sitting at 512, so doing pretty well. He's using a lot of mana. Clear those Eidolons, free gold, why the hell not? Especially when he's just so close to the base. Let's actually take a look at how the gold graph is doing. Gold graph is in favor of Na'Vi by a little bit. They are, of course, a couple of towers ahead, but experience 9 to 6 is going to be in favor of Empire. And Empire, I mean, like, their Broodmother did have a lot of trouble in lane, but everyone else on their team not doing too bad. See a Sunstrike going to annihilate Dendi. That combo is just so much damage. It's outrageous. So, gotta watch out. Shadow Demon by himself with Invoker anywhere on the map could pretty much kill... How tanky is Beastmaster? I'm sure Beastmaster could get taken down by that. 350... You could pretty much, you have to do, after a Demonic Purge, maybe a stack of Shadow Poison, some right clicks. Especially right clicks with Medallion of Courage, so even Beastmaster is not quite safe from that combo. I feel like Lone Druid's the only one who could survive that, and even so, he's going to be pretty roughed up at the end of that regardless. You see Cyclone going off onto the Bear, and Bear's going to get 3 spells from the Invoker. Oh my god. You do not want to take 3 hits like that from the Invoker. Deafening Blast, Meteor, Sunstrike. That can pretty much kill anyone, as I actually see Shadow Demon getting picked off by Tinker in the meantime. Na'Vi is going to retreat. Shadow Demon a little bit out of position. He did pop off all his spells, but not quite enough to actually get him anything because the team was too far behind. So there's going to be a stun on Jackal. There is a stun on Jackal. Jackal's taking a lot of damage. He doesn't have a point booster, so he's going to be a little bit tanky, but stun perfectly dodged by both of the stand-ins. Invoker in the meantime taking down Beastmaster as actually Jackal's going to just walk away. Na'Vi knew that support could have been right up the high ground, and then they would have been baited and both killed. So Leshrac gets to escape with his life, and in the meantime, Scandal just completely annihilating the Beastmaster once again. I'm sure that was a Cyclone into something Hurdy, Sunstrike, something like that. Just action all over the map. Lone Druid still not quite with his Radiance yet, but he'll be picking that up relatively soon. Dendi's sitting at 2,500. He's actually probably going to go for a Sheepstick, try to get some Permahex off. You know, they really need to permahex. You see Blur Brain once again. He is going to go down. There's going to be missiles coming down. Sunstrike going to miss NS, and okay, you could black hole Spiderlings. I don't. Okay. Black hole being used very liberally. I would not recommend it since its cooldown is one of the longest in the game, if not the longest. I'm actually not sure what the longest cooldown in the game is, but Black Hole definitely has to be up there. It's such a devastating AoE ultimate. Beastmaster hasn't quite ganked yet, or much at all. Hasn't much farm. Not very influential in this game so far. He has managed to take down the tier 1 on the bot tower, and that's mostly because of a Tinker and, you know, other people coming in to support him. Now, might want to go on Wanna Fly. He does have Brown waiting in the wings, and NS. He's got to be careful. If he gets disrupted and soul captured, he's going to take a Sunstrike and he's going to die. But J4 is here. They're going to be going onto NS. There's see a Ravage going off on 2 of them. Sunstrike and Deafening Meteor, and oh my god. Deafening Blast and Meteor are going to be able to take down those 2 puppies. Now soul captured and he's on the run. Is he going to escape from this? He's taking a lot of damage. No, actually the Beastmaster Illusions managing to take down their creator, their template, something like that. So it's a nice, easy 3 pickups by Team Empire. You see Light of Heaven now with his Radiance. He's going to be going on to Shadow Demon. If he gets entangled, yes, second hit entangle. Always Wanna Fly is probably going to go down. He could just get followed by that Radiance, and the bear is going to be able to pick up the Shadow Demon very easily. Now see Dendi changing his mind to go on the Broodmother. He doesn't know where the Empire team is. I'm pretty sure both Jackal and J4 were in the woods, and Navi did not have vision of them. And Light of Heaven, what are you doing? You gotta watch out, Light of Heaven. J4 has no backup, so he's not going to go in on that. So Light of Heaven catching a small break, and Navi going to be going for Roshan with that Spirit Bear with a gem, actually. So no one's going to get the jump on them. Light of Heaven just going to be sitting there soloing it with a little bit of NS support. As he Scandal seems to know something's up. He now has his Force Staff, so he has a lot of movement speed and a lot of mobility. Even though he's only investing 1 onto the Wex, he's going to be able to move around fairly quickly. Roshan getting taken down. In the meantime, Leshrac has picked up a tower on the bot lane. Dendi is there to defend it. He's actually going for Shiva's Guard, so a lot of pushing coming out from Dendi. It kind of makes more sense than a Sheep Stick. There's no one on Team Empire who's really needing of that. Of course, Invoker is fairly worthy of a Sheep Stick. You take him down, then oh my god, there's going to be a curse going on to the Beastmaster. Sunstrike taking so much of his health. He's barely alive. That Purge might even take him over. That Purge is going to take a... No? Yes, it is going to take him over. But in the meantime, Bear is chasing down Shadow Demon. Radiance is going to pick up that kill. J4 is stunned near his tier 1 tower. He's getting stunned again. Is there going to be Gale? Gale's actually going to miss. His Light of Heaven turning around. Wants to entangle. Is there going to be an entangle? Bear does not have phase boots, but the main one does. Actually, you see Dendi teleporting in onto the Bear. Shiva's Guard is going to, no, just barely miss Tidehunter. So Tidehunter lucky to get out of there. Scandal cycling up Dendi. Here comes a Sunstrike and EMP, not EMP, Chaos Meteor and Deafening Blast. Not quite enough to take out Dendi. Scandal wants to take down Dendi. Light of Heaven going to be able to take down the Leshrac, but he's actually going to pay the price with his Aegis. He does not have the Bear up right now, and he's actually not in true form, so he is very low on HP. Going to be able to transform, and he might get away. Yes, he is going to get away. I feel like my casting today just isn't on point. I don't know. Whatever, practice, right? Practice, practice, practice. Puppy is going to pick up that Necro 3. They do have a gem on their team, so it's not, he's not picking it up for the Broodmother, although it's definitely going to help to, you know, kind of shut down the Broodmother. But really, Broodmother has picked up an Orchid, actually, so she could be pretty dangerous if she manages to find something like Tinker or Venomancer alone. And speaking of Tinker alone, there goes his Shivas, and Blur Brain wants in on this. He's actually taking 2 Shiva's blasts, and Dendi silence but on the run, and with those Boots of Travel, he's just going to be able to teleport out, and Blur Brain has nothing to cancel that, and not enough damage to just eat through that. So, Dendi managing to escape there, as we see 3 members of the Empire team walking right past the Regeneration Rune, looking for someone. Unfortunately for them, the entirety of Navi is on the bot lane, including the Tinker, who's teleporting in. So it might be a tier 2 trade. Would not be surprised at that. And this lineup, Rav is actually going to take a pretty big Sunstrike. Deafening Blast and Meteor coming down just to clear off the creep wave. Tower is going to go down regardless by the Lone Druid, and actually Scandal taking a lot of damage. One more missile could put him down. Of course, J4 and Jackal are going to be tanking them. Jackal gets roared up and gets hit by some axes, but he does have that Bloodstone, so he's going to be very tanky. Now see the Navi team falling back. Just going to be farming up the jungle. Vladimir's offering on the Lone Druid now, as well as a Radiance. So Navi just gearing up their entire lineup for pushing. You see Medallion of Courage going off on the Enigma, bought up by the Enigma. Doesn't go off. I'm just saying words. Medallion of Courage on the Enigma, and we see Dendy's gonna take a Sunstrike. Oh my God, that damage! Invoker picking up yet another kill. This Invoker just so much damage, and Dendy knows it's hilarious. But the Medallion of Courage and Enigma, not something you see a whole lot, but he is getting it just because it is a early game item. Like Medallion of Courage, really, it's that armor difference is a Desolator. And if you get a Desolator's worth of armor difference that early on, it's going to be devastating. And with a pushing lineup, you want that early game power, because if it goes to late game, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Of course, they do have the Lone Druid, so they're not completely screwed if things don't go their way in the early stages of the game. But just picking up those really cost-effective damage items from the Enigma, as well as the Mech and Blink Dagger, so he's not really deviating too much from standard Enigma play. Just orienting himself slightly towards the push. You see the same thing being done by Light of Heaven, picking up that Vlad's. Vlad's, of course, once again, is not a, super weird item on Syllabear. Normally you would see something like a hood or a pipe, and that would be for the more carry-esque Syllabear role. Of course, the Vlads will usually follow later. As you now see Scandal with the haste rune, he's getting chased by an angry bear, but he's going to be fine. He's going to take a little bit of Radiance burn, but he's going to walk out of that just okay. This bear is going really freaking quick, actually, even with no boots. Bear is now going to... Oh, actually, Dust going on to Blow Your Brain, and his Roar as well. Blow Your Brain going to get taken down again. He's getting force stabbed into a corner, and then just completely raped by all 5 of the Navi team. Poor Broodmother, 064, not having a good time at all. Beastmaster doing some good setups with his Roar, but 0-7 for 3, not something to write home about either. We now might see another tier 2 trade. Empire actually did not take the tier 2 on the top lane, so that was a free tower going the way of Na'Vi. Now see Empire with that edict going to be wrecking this tower, and Na'Vi transitioning to the mid lane. They're going to be able to take this down, as we see Dendy trying to set something up as far as defense. There's a lot of damage coming out from Jackal, but if he doesn't have a creep wave, he really is... It's risky taking down this tier 1 tower, especially with a Tinker waiting in the wings. Chaos Meteor has gone off to burn off the creeps on the mid lane. See it, Spirit Bear just on the high ground, now with the Hyperstone. Hyperstone and Demolish can be taking a lot of damage to that tower. Is he actually going to get Hearst up as well? Is he going to get resummoned? Yes, Light of Heaven does resummon him. Of course, now the bear is in a lot of danger. If the bear goes down, then Na'Vi is going to be without the Vlads, without the Radiance, and without 55 attack speed on that Syllabear, Lone Druid. So he's got to be careful for another 100 seconds. Probably don't want to get into huge fights until then. And Tinker, you can see with Shiva's Guard, you could refresh it, and it's actually a pretty cheap spell as far as spells go. And does quite a bit of damage to creeps, so he's just demolishing creeps, walking down the lane, Soul Ring, Shivas, Marching the Machines, refresh, rearm, just rinse, repeat, and there you go. You get a lot of money, and you get a lot of momentum going towards your lanes. Venomancer now with the drum, and Wannafly looking for someone. I'm not sure if he saw NS. He might have. He definitely did now. Purge and the Curse going up onto the Venomancer. He's going to take, oh my god, the damage. Sunstrike actually, I think Deafening Blast managed to push him out of the Sunstrike. He might have been protected a little bit by that. Always Wannafly taking a lot of poison damage. He's actually going to get taken down by the missiles of Dendy, who teleported to something. Oh, no, actually, it was Blink Dagger. So he blinked into the trees and casted those missiles in order to snag that kill. I'm pretty sure Invoker's missed the combo by a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but Venomancer took a lot less damage than I was expecting. Venomancer has 1,000 health, so he's not the softest of heroes. Yeah, actually, all of Na'Vi pretty tanky at this point. Broodmother, of course, only at 1,300 for level 16, so not the most tough hero, especially when Na'Vi is gearing up to kick your ass. We have a gem on the Venomancer. Is Broodmother going to be able to run away? Looks like Na'Vi's just going to be settling for a whole bunch of Spiderlings and one Furbog champion. Poor guy. They just want to live their ordinary lives. Enigma actually has replaced his Medallion of Courage, or kind of replaced. He's actually holding it in his stash, so probably going to be selling it relatively shortly. And of course, Medallion of Courage works very well with the Eidolons. Get a lot of plus damage that way. Puppy now with a level 3 Necro Book, and Na'Vi, pretty sure they have everything they need. Venom Nova, Poison Nova, Venomancer, Poison, some synonyms, and that. Poison Nova is not quite up, but by the time they actually want to fight, oh my god, Shadow Demon, you gotta run for it. Puppy is on the chase. Is he gonna be able to get that roar off? He does have a speed aura coming out from the Necro Book, so someone is gonna die. Always want to fly getting roared up. He's gonna be taken down. He's probably gonna disrupt himself. Just no, he's not even gonna have enough time for that. Gem True Side dropped on the floor, getting picked up by Lone Druid. So now 2 gems, I'm pretty sure on the Na'Vi side. Yeah, 2 gems on the Na'Vi side. And they can transition into a push. With the Shadow Demon down, they do not have the Purge. They do not have the huge amount of plus damage coming out from the Soul Catcher. So for 35 seconds, the Empire is not their strongest. If Na'Vi wants to push, they should do it now. They do have all their big ultimates. They have a Black Hole. They have a Poison Nova. Tinker's ultimate is always up. And Syllabear, I mean, like, he wants to fight. He's a bear. Why the fuck not? Going for an Assault Cuirass, so getting even more push-oriented items. They're now going to try to breach the high ground as the creeps finally come. Shadow Demon is going to be up, and Empire might be able to hold this. We see a Meteor coming down onto the Bear and a Deafening Blast. Bear taking a lot of damage, and it's Cold Snapped as well as getting right-clicked by a whole bunch of people on the Empire side. The Bear is going to barely live with 300 HP, and he actually had it on cooldown as well, so he probably wants to heal that Bear instead of just simply resummon it if they want to continue to be aggressive. Looks like he's going to opt for healing through lifesteal. Of course, if you earn on the Bear. There we go, they're just going to lifesteal everything back. And they might just return to that bottom lane. We see Dendi just doing his own thing on the top lane, doing what Tinkers do. Pushing the top lane, getting some very nice split pushing going on for the Na'Vi team, and that just means Empire has to dedicate someone towards that top lane. Broodmother has picked up her BKB, although Roar and Black Hole and Entangle Roots from the Lone Druid, it's not going to help you that much as the Bear is now in hot pursuit. Is there going to be an Entangle? One hit, they do have a gem, and there goes the BKB and the Hunger. She's going to be going for it, and that's Black Hole Pop just for Blow Brain. Blow Brain is so screwed. Actually, no, Ravage comes out from the J4, and a huge Meteor rolling onto the entirety of Navi's side, but they're all still alive. Left Heaven is going to be going down. He's going to be the first one to go down. Rav War is taking a lot of damage, but he's going to be able to, oh my god, how is this happening for Na'Vi? So much damage is passively coming out from their team. Puppy's summons doing a lot of damage as well, and I feel like Na'Vi, even though they weren't doing much, they were just kiting around, and the March of the Machines, the summons, the Midnight Pulse, just doing work on the Empire team. Now Blurry Brain taking a lot of damage from the creeps, and Necromanians as well, as we see Na'Vi going for the tier 3 on the mid. Dendi's going to be pushing the top lane as well, so they're going to be split pushing again. Looks like they're actually just going to be falling back, so playing it safe. You don't have your Lone Druid, you don't have those big items, especially the Vlad's Aura for pushing, Radiance for taking down those creeps. Tinker is now looking to go for a Hex Stick or another Shiva's. Two Shivas do not stack, by the way. If you have any items, and if you have a duplicate of any items, then using one will set both on cooldown. So don't stack the same items. Ooh, I like this. Venomancer going for a Veil of Discord. Not the most magic damage coming out from the Navi team, but it is going to help. I mean, like, the Midnight Pulse did quite a bit. The Empire team was just mostly sitting in it, and the effects for Midnight Pulse is, you know, pretty noticeable, but it's not like, holy shit, this is a giant pool of death. So, Puppy now going to be pressuring back J4, who doesn't even have his pipe yet. He actually opted not to go for Blink Dagger, instead using the Broodmother as bait trick. Not much of a trick, actually, but that's how they're going to initiate. Wait for Navi to initiate, and then use Ravage as the huge counter-initiation tool that it is. But Navi not quite pushing right now. They're just going to be going for a Roshan. They're going to be able to get it as well. Empire not in any position to respond. They might not even know that Navi is doing it. Sunstrike is going to reveal that Roshan is not there, and that message is going to reveal where Roshan is. He is in his home crying because he died yet again. Lone Druid is actually going to be holding all the items for another 45 seconds. Then he's going to transfer to the bear, where he could get a lot more mobility and safety out of those items until the bear gets completely right-clicked by the Empire team. Vogr doing actually a lot of damage with that maxed out exhort. Spell's doing quite a bit as well. Meteor, Deafening Blast. A very old school Invoker build would just be to rush those two. And by old school I mean the build that every pub went as soon as Invoker got re-released, and it was so much fun. You just roll people over with that Meteor and they didn't know what to do. You just killed them every time. It was great. Enigma now with the BKB, and Empire does not have any way of stopping that. Last time, Enigma did get a black hole off just on Blow Your Brain, but the Ravage from Tidehunter, with its huge range, managed to interrupt the black hole channeling, but never again. That Black King bar, nothing could go through it. Edict could go through it, but nothing can interrupt it. So Enigma is going to get that black hole off with the Blink BKB, so Empire has to be careful not to clump up. Beastmaster actually with the Vanguard, so going for the cost-effective route. He's not exactly swimming in money. He's take a farm check. Yeah, Beastmaster is quite behind Dendi and Light of Heaven, and Empire, Blow Your Brain, also quite rich, although his score does not necessarily reflect that. Jackal's forced to pop his BKB, but he gets entangled anyway, taking a lot of right-click damage from Light of Heaven. He's going to be able to run out just fine. You see a Tornado coming in just to interrupt the Lone Druid. And we see Always Wanna Fly getting taken down by the Enigma, and this is Navi's cue to push. They have everything they need. They have the Black Hole, they have the Poison Nova, and they have a very angry bear. Deafening Blast and Meteor are going to be able to clear out a little bit of the creep wave, but this melee rack is going to go down no matter what Empire does. There goes the Ravage trying to slow them down a little bit. Bear taking a lot of damage, but Blink, BKB, Black Hole, catching both Scandal and Jackal. Jackal is going to be the first one to fall. Scandal taking a lot of damage. He's going to force staff himself out, but he's still taking poison damage and Radiance Burn damage. He gets taken down by the Lone Druid, but he buys back into the game. It's going to be a little bit too late. Blow Your Brain also coming from the back, but he is going to get taken down extremely easily. He's going to buy back as well. But a level 1 EMP. That was a pretty weak EMP, but Dendi just popping out the Shivas and the Martian Machines, trying to clear out everyone, do a lot of AoE indiscriminate damage. J4 are going to get taken down by Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven is just on a killing rampage right now, taking down everyone. He still has that Aegis as well. Another Shiva is going to go off, slowing down Blow Your Brain. Scandal is on the run. He's going to force that himself out, and Ravor wants that kill, but no, he gets disrupted by Shadow Demon. Enigmaster is going to take out Blow Your Brain in the meantime. Puppy roaring on Always Wanna Fly. Cyclone going off onto the Enigma. He's going to take a Sunstrike, but it's only split by 2 people. NS and the Enigma are going to split that damage equally. Enigma is going to go down regardless, however, Invoker picking up that kill. Navi taking 2 Raxes in one fell swoop, and there's the GG call by Empire. Navi, 40-minute victory, and Lone Druid just completely pissed with those auras and radiance. If you have a level 21 Lone Druid, you're going to be doing work on the enemy team. Not to take anything away from his teammates. Venomancer, of course, with the slows. Beastmaster doing a lot more for the game than I thought he would. More than just a roar, he actually managed to get quite a bit up. And Dendi pressuring every single lane, so Navi could more actively look for those openings on people who are trying to defend those lanes. Empire, I don't know, they had a very bad top lane. Broodmother simply could not do anything. Invoker did do quite a bit, but it simply was not enough. And so, well played by Navi. So, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Team Empire versus Navi from the group stage of the defense. More casts to come. Hope you guys enjoyed. GG.